When you reported your annual results in May, the world was a very different place to what it is now. In terms of your businesses, what have you seen and how are things now?
We've seen the situation started really to, we saw the weakness in about June or July last year. Mm-hmm. And we saw the total unsustainability of massive prices of commodities across the board. The situation collapsed, I think, initially as a result of the financial crisis, but commodities followed as a result. And I think for the past year we've seen weakness. There are signs that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and things seem to be cautiously, I think, improving. We're not convinced that we're entering another full commodity bull run again, but there are signs that there's pickup. There's certainly restocking going on at the lower numbers, specifically with the Chinese and the Europeans and other markets as well.
Sure. You did indicate when you produced the results that the record results that you had for the year ended in February, I think, would not be repeated, obviously because of the changed circumstances. Now, in terms of where you're trading now, just how far off are things from the prediction that you made in May?
We've been in operations since 1985. We've made money every year since 1985, and we'll make money again this year without question.
Sure.
Last year was a year of two halves. It was sort of March to August was very different from September to February, but sure, we managed to make money in the second half of last year despite the economic crisis that we had.
And you should be able to make money this year as well.
We hope so.
I like the cautious note in your voice there. Now, of course, you are about to produce your results the first half as well. You're also trading under cautionary. But at the same time, there's been a bit of news flow around the company. You announced the sale of your interest in PGRI 17 investments.
Yeah, which is the Mkhali alloys, yes.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm thinking here, are we seeing part of a restructuring of the business, right-sizing it and
no, we're not.
In the right shape in the new change?
We are. It was an opportunity. We were approached by a consortium about a year and a half ago who wanted to take the company and go and list it.
Okay.
And we then had a counter offer from another party, and ultimately it was sold to Rookie for a little over 2 billion rand.
Yes.
And the decision was taken. We were minorities within the PGR 17 holding company, and we went with the flow. We got shareholder approval only last week to conclude the transaction on our behalf.
So the strategy in terms of developing the company and growing the company hasn't changed because of the changed world circumstances?
Not at all. We paid a little over 50 million for our equity stake in Mkhali, and we get paid our share of the sale about 250 million, just short of 250 million.
Last year you made a few acquisitions. With the benefit of hindsight, and again referring to the changed circumstances, were those acquisitions okay?
Yes.
Are you going to hold on to them?
Absolutely. And we do not look to make acquisitions at the top of the market. We look for absolute value, and we look for production units which are really at the bottom of the cost curve, and that's the main criteria. And of course management. Management is very important for us.
Now you are in different geographies, 30 countries around the world, and one of the areas where you are in is an interesting one in Southern Africa, Zimbabwe. How are things in that country? I was there last week, and I am seeing a very, very different country to what it was, say, about a year ago.
We've been in Zimbabwe at Hwange Colliery, and more recently at Zisco.
Yeah.
And we have been quite aggressive in the chrome space in Zimbabwe. We're under cautionary at the moment, and I really don't need to say too much about that, or cannot say too much about that, but we're optimistically bullish about Zimbabwe at the moment. We think the changes are coming. It's not going away. The resources that they have and the wealth of resources they have are not going away.
Absolutely.
And they will be exploited, and we'd like to be there when they are.